everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Tyrod Taylor's Bills going up against Mitchell Trubisky's Bears.
All right, thank you much, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Buffalo Bills. Here's the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Benjamin, the man in motion left. On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
In motion right is Benjamin. Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And some big-time hitting going on there. He is knocked to the ground right there around the 35-yard line. Now Taylor going to hand this one off to McCoy. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Let's go!
Now McCoy. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. They lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. On 4th down, Colton Schmidt to punt it away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. There will be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Bears take over. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And this is complete to Zach Miller. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage.
It's caught inside the 25. Still shedding tackles. A huge play there for Chicago. 53 yards. And the young Bucks showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions, because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
When it's first and goal from that close inside the 5, do you like running the toss or pitch to the outside?
I think some teams feel like they have a little more room and it enables them to do that. But I know flip it over to the other side. You just read one key and you go. You don't worry about a second move and getting hurt that way. Go get it right now, and that's exactly what they did and caused the loss.
For Jordan Howard, Charles, last year in 2017, not quite as good as the great rookie year he had in 2016.
And a big part of that, very simply, there weren't any playmakers around him to keep defenses back and keep things stretched. He was running into 8- and 9-man boxes on almost every carry. So I thought he had a tremendous year, number 6 in the league in rushing after being number 2 a season before.
And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Kendall Wright from 3 yards out. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Well, before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
They'll go again to McCoy. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's Colton Schmidt now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway. Here's Colton Schmidt now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. Chicago's offense getting set to take over, and it's a crew, not only offensively, but defensively, obviously, collectively. The 4 straight last-place finishes. That's what they're facing as they enter 2018. Now, if there's a silver lining, I guess, they did go from 3 wins to 5 wins last year.
But you're really exciting the fans on that one, aren't you?
I was reaching.
Look, they finished number 10 on defense in the league, which was really somewhat remarkable because they had a number of injuries on all 3 levels, and somehow they fashioned that together. But Mitchell Trubisky, their rookie quarterback, who played well in spurts, they've got to surround him with talent, and a number 1 receiver would be a great place to begin. Because right now, the guys play.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, 53 yards. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. And it's up and good. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And he'll back up a few steps as he'll make the fair catch at about the 8-yard line. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but 3rd MVP this past season. And what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? Last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
You go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. And they'll keep on the ground with McCoy. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Taylor with a give to McCoy. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well, now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
On 3rd down, here's McCoy. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game, not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
On first, they go right back to Howard. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down, couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half, a 2nd one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Eluding the pressure right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck roll that they can fall back on anymore.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be resigned, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents.
Let's go! Brand 38!
Again, it's McCoy. And they'll get him down up past the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Here we go!
And they'll keep it on the ground with McCoy. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Taylor will throw. The left side completion to Jones. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Colton Schmidt now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Taking on the midfield logo. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year. They totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Cameron Meredith as the first half is winding down. And the Bears will extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Here's Tywan Jones on the return. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. And now out come the Bills. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer.
All right, hang on here. We'll jump over halftime. Just let the system and graphics catch up. Okay, all set. 3rd quarter now. Now the return man. This is Benny Cunningham. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. This is Howard on second down. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Another nice run there by Jordan Howard. And when we talk about fresh legs, how about 2016? Jordan Howard, the #2 rookie rusher. Heck, the #2 rusher in the NFL behind another rookie, Ezekiel Elliott.
In the first 3 weeks of the season, he only had 12 carries. So once week 4 hit, really found his groove.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Escaping the pressure right. Gets it to Bellamy out right. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
They go with Howard again. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Got a man, it's right. They give him 12 yards and a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down. On first and goal, Howard. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Ball spotted at the 4. It's second and goal. They run with Howard. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
want two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
They'll run for it with Tariq Cohen. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
Now they'll try and run the sweep to McCoy. They find some open field here. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
That looked like a two-deep coverage, which we call cover two. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safeties.
We saw the example of it right there. Here's a give to McCoy running left. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 3rd down, it's McCoy. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Trubisky with a give to Howard. Spinning past him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. They'll run from the pistol with Howard. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may...